You have probably heard that unpermitted work will kill your home sale. Most of the time, that is just not true. I spent years as a loan officer before I moved into real estate. So let me tell you what actually happens in underwriting and what actually stops a deal out here on Long Island. Let's start with what does not usually cause a problem. A finished basement. Everybody worries about this one. And in my experience, the bank does not care. It is not going to stop your loan. Now, your town might care because a finished basement can mean a higher assessment and a higher tax bill. That is a real conversation to have, but it is a tax conversation. It is not a deal killer conversation. Same story with a shed. Same story with a low deck, the kind that sits a foot or two off the ground. Those thresholds do vary town to town, so check yours. But generally, these are not the things that blow up a closing. So what does? Here's the pattern. Lenders and appraisers care when the work changes what the house legally is. Convert the garage into living space. Now you have a problem. You just eliminated required parking and you added living area the town never approved. Put in a second kitchen. That is the big one. Because to a lender, a second kitchen looks like a second dwelling unit. You are no longer selling a single family home. You are selling something that looks like an illegal two-family. Underwriting will stop right there. Same thing with an unapproved apartment, a converted attic with its own entrance, an addition that changed the footprint of the house. That is the line. Personal use versus legal use. Finish your basement for your kids and nobody blinks. Put a kitchen down there and you have a completely different property on your hands. Now, one more thing about appraisals, because this one gets explained wrong constantly. Finished basement space does not count towards your above grade square footage. Ever. Permitted or not. The appraiser lists it separately and it carries less value per foot than the space upstairs. That is not a penalty. That is just how appraisals work. So do not expect a finished basement to move your number the way an addition would. Okay, separate issue, open permits. This one is not really about the bank. This one is about your attorney. An open permit means somebody pulled a permit, did the work, and then never called for the final inspection. So it just sits there and it shows up on the title search. Most attorneys want it closed out before they will pass clean title. I have seen permits sitting open since the 1980s. It is usually solvable, but it takes time that you do not have if you find it 2 weeks before closing. And a quick note for older homes. If your house was built before 1929 in the town of Hempstead, it may not have a certificate of occupancy at all. Older homes use a certificate of existing use instead. That is normal. Do not panic. So here is what I would tell you. If you are selling, pull your building department file before you list, not 30 days before closing. You are really looking for two things: open permits and anything that changed the legal use of the house. If you are buying, ask about the garage, ask about a second kitchen, ask about any addition. Those are your real questions. And either way, talk to a real estate attorney. Every town and every village out here has its own rules. If you are thinking about selling and you are not sure what is sitting in your file, reach out. I will help you find out, and I will tell you honestly whether it is something to worry about or not.